Python default arguments and informative tutorial. Python's default arguments are a powerful feature that allows you to define functions with default values for some of their parameters. This feature enhances the flexibility and usability of your functions, enabling them to be called with fewer arguments when needed. In this tutorial, we'll explore how default arguments work, their benefits, and some best practices, along with code examples. What are default arguments? Default arguments are values that are assigned to function parameters if no value is provided when the function is called. This means that the function can be called with fewer arguments than defined, and the default values will be used for those parameters. Syntax. The syntax for defining default arguments in a function is as follows: Python def function name paramon valueon, param2 value2 function body. Here, paramon and param2 have default values valueon and value2, respectively. Example of default arguments. Let's look at a simple example to understand how default arguments work. Python def greet name message hello return message name, calling the function with both arguments print greet Alice, he output hi Alice, calling the function with only the name argument print greet Bob, output hello Bob. In this example, the greet function has one required parameter name and one optional parameter message with a default value of hello. When we call greet Bob, the function uses the default value for message. Benefits of default arguments. 1. Simplicity. Functions with default arguments are simpler to call, especially when the default behavior is sufficient. Flexibility. It provides flexibility to the function calls. Users can choose to override defaults as needed. Backward compatibility. When adding new parameters to existing functions, default arguments help maintain backward compatibility with existing code. Best practices. 1. Order of parameters. Always place required parameters before optional parameters with default values. Mutable default arguments. Be cautious when using mutable default arguments like lists or dictionaries. They can lead to unexpected behavior. Documentation. Always document your functions clearly, especially when using default arguments, so users understand what the defaults are. Conclusion. Python's default arguments are a powerful feature that can make your functions more versatile and user-friendly. By using default arguments wisely, you can simplify your function calls, provide sensible defaults, and maintain code readability. Just remember to be cautious with mutable defaults, and you will be well on your way to leveraging this feature effectively in your Python programming. Happy coding!